Okay, so what you should have from the previous videos is you should have the home to our home page complete. So here you can see my completed page. All of my links are navy, and I have an image map here that links to various locations. The only one of which doesn't work is the entry page, because that's what we'll be creating in this video. So we're going to create the second website, the web page that we need to create here. So what I'd like you to do is to open up a new file. So file new, and then do file, save as. You're going to save it in that in-class project folder for Unit 4 and save it as entry.html. And so what we're going to create is this page right here. You'll notice that it again uses a table. We have an image, we have some links at the bottom, and then we have some text off to the side. So here you want to begin by putting in Notepad++, that skeleton, and you can see my title here is entry. So you should have that basic skeleton typed in. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a table here. So whether or not you realize it, I'm going to click down here for a second. This is actually a table with 4 cells. So we have row 1, row 2, we have column 1, row 1. So you can see all the text here. Column 2 of row 1 is an image. Column 1 of row 2 is blank. And column 2 of row 2 consists of these text links down below. So that's what we'll be adding in this particular document. So you have text in the first cell, picture in the second of row 1, empty in first cell of row 2, and a horizontal menu bar in the second one. So we're going to start by just creating that table. So go into your body tags, indent in. We have an opening table and a closing table. We then know there are 2 rows. So I'm going to open up a row and close off a row. And we know that each row has 2 cells. Now, because some of these cells are a little larger, I'm going to leave some space for them. So I know the second cell isn't really large, it's just an image. But I know that first one has quite a bit of text. So here I can see cell 1 and then cell 2. And then I know that I have a second row that I need to accommodate for. And so then here I'm going to close off that row. And I'm going to add in, okay, cell 1. Cell 1 is closed. And then cell 2. And cell 2 is closed. So I can see I have my table followed by, I want these indented in a little bit, so I have followed by my row. Then there's the second row with its, we have a table, we have 2 rows, and each row has 2 columns within it. So we're going to start coding. We can see here that we have our first cell here, and it starts off with quite a few attributes that we're going to add in. So we can type in that first row here. We have a V align that's going to set all of our items in our cells vertically aligned to the top. And then inside of there, actually that needs to go, inside of the data cell tag. And then inside of here, we're going to have some bolded font, and I'm going to use my font size tag up above. So I have size equals +3 relative to what's around it, a face equal to bazooka, color equal to navy. And then inside of there, it's going to say home tour, followed by a break. And then it's going to say entry. And then I'm going to close off that font and close off the bold. So here, this first part just adds in that beginning text. You can see home tour, and then it says we're in the entryway. So that's where that is appearing, and that's what that looks like at the current moment. So now from here, we're just going to add in a break clear to ensure that we have all the break cleared around it to the left. Okay. So the next chunk we're going to add is this very, very long paragraph. Remember, this is all still in that same cell. So I'm going to add in this first paragraph here. You'll need to actually pause the video and type it out. So you can see that is right in there. And then you have this second paragraph that has some contact information along with an email link. So you can see that in there. So you should be typing those in, creating that email link. And when you are done with that particular cell, this is what you should see. So since we haven't filled in all the cells yet, you should just see the text here. You have a paragraph, you have a nice email link that should open up a new email. And when you're done with that, you're ready to move on to cell number 2 in row 1. Okay, so I'm assuming that you are all ready to move on to the next cell. Now remember, if we go back here, this next cell consists of just an image. So we'll be adding in that image in cell 2. So I have this text here in red. So this is going into cell 2 in row 1. So I have an image. The source is equal to the entry image. It has an H space equal to 20 pixels, a border that's equal to 0 pixels, an alignment to the left, alternate text that says entry, a height that's equal to 360 pixels, and a width equal to 480 pixels. And then I can close off that image. And then if I run it, what I should see is I have my text on one side and my image on the other. So I can clearly see that row 1 is now complete, and I've got row 1's text along with row 1's image, and because I'm using a table, it's organized really, really efficiently and effectively. So the next chunk is we are going to move on to the second row. Now, something to note that's unique about the second row is that it's completely empty. So what's really happening here is this is just kind of, I put a break tag in there. It's empty. So just put in a break tag, and what it will do is it will create that second row, and it'll then allow you to move on to cell 2. So that second row, the first cell, really is just a break tag to create an empty cell. And then the next piece creates a horizontal menu bar. Now you'll notice if you look at this that the text is centered within alignment of center. So we have to include that inside of our data cell tags. We have align equals center. And then from here, we can include, okay, we have, I'm going to write the text first, and then I'll put the links around it. So I have home, entry, living, dining, backyard. And I know that each of these is an anchor tag. So I'm going to put an anchor tag before and close off the anchor tag afterwards. And then I know that this is a hyperlink reference linking to home tour. Remember, these should all be HTML. So you'll notice I need to make some changes in my PowerPoints. They all need to be HTML because those are how I saved my links. So HTML. Then I need to put these links, but change the hyperlink reference for each of them. So I have entry. I then have living. I then have dining. And I then finally have backyard. So now what you should have, if you save it and run it in Chrome, is you should see, okay, you have cell 1, cell 2, and then cell 1, cell 2, and if you start clicking, you should be able to go to the different locations. So assuming all your links work, you should be able to pop between all of those, as well as return to the home page and use the image map. So we've used links really efficiently here so somebody can navigate this website and look for information concerning this home. So again, test out those links, make sure that they link to all of the different pages. If you're having some issues, please let me know. Otherwise, you've now reached the final portion of lesson 3. So just really make sure, test out your website and show me that you're done with this page and ready to move on to your worksheet, followed by the project.